So, welcome to my first podcast. I've got a very special friend from the university here, and today we're going to talk about freedom, its importance to us and our vision for it, and how discipline and focus can lead us, and will lead anyone, towards that life, and maybe a few things that you guys can do yourself and implement yourselves to lead yourself towards that life. So, mate, do you mind just introducing yourself a bit and your situation?
So obviously we know each other from uni,
Yeah.
and if I go back to my first year of uni, I would say I found myself in a position whereby I was doing something that I didn't particularly enjoy. I was studying politics at the time,
Yeah, I remember.
and I didn't see how it would get me to where I want to be in life. I didn't see how it would get me the career I want, or the lifestyle I want, mainly the lifestyle I want, It's very important to, I think,
To have that vision.
to have that vision, to have that vision that you aspire to, and then you can start to set things up, now in a way that works towards that.
So do you mind just saying quickly, what is that vision for you?
So to me it's freedom, okay? It's the abundance of free time, the ability to, pursue your interests, and to me that centres around, music, I love music. DJing, football as well, big footballer, and travelling, I love the idea of being able to go to a country and spend 6 months there, whether it's Cyprus or Vietnam, Bali, Thailand. There's so many amazing countries in this world, and you just want to get out there. You want to get out there when you're younger, you know what I mean? You want to get out there and live life to the full. And so that's what's most important to me, and it's important to me now that I've put in place several steps that enable me to enact that kind of vision, and I can work towards that.
To set your life up to work towards that.
Precisely, and the way I saw that was a passive income. If I could put a position, set things up in a way whereby I earn a solid passive income.
Just sleeping and earning.
Yeah, exactly. We can work towards that.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
do you mind me asking? So, because you're lucky, you realise how passive income is literally the key to. That's the magical key. It's not that magical, but
well, some say it is.
Yeah. So how did you kind of like? Do you mind just giving us a bit of an insight of how you got into that and like?
Right. So my uncle was basically doing a lot of property development, and I basically just essentially started learning from him. So I asked him for advice, tips on various things, and just picking up the reins from him, which has been really good because he's been doing it for a long time. And so luckily I was in a position where I inherited a sum of money from my grandparents as well. And combined with the fact we live in such a great city now where there's so much happening, there's so much growth, fastest growing city in Europe.
If you look at the craze around you, it's crazy.
Exactly, you can see it's a place that's up and coming.
Yeah.
There's big opportunities here. So
you realise the importance of real estate and basically passive income from that. And how did you what were the first steps you took for that?
Yeah, so the first move on that path that I took myself, without the help of my uncle and parents and whatnot, was to basically target bank repossessions. So properties whereby people have defaulted on their mortgage, for example, and they can't make any, they can't sustain themselves. So the bank needs to shift these properties very fast, and so they'll charge a much less price, and therefore you have to pay a full cash installment up front, but you can get a lot more value for your money.
Yeah.
And so it started in Prestwich actually in North Manchester, where I bought my first.
I think you showed me pictures of this one, didn't you?
Yeah, and it was totally dilapidated. A real mess, to say the least. So there's bird shit everywhere, the kitchen's been on fire, and it was just a real mess. But we managed to get it up to a nice standard where it was looking smart, and it was a fraction of the price of the other apartments in the building. So in the long run, you actually made a sizable
return.
Sizable return. And luckily, I had a friend, someone I'd known from when I was younger, who was looking for a place to stay.
Yeah.
And he and his friend, they moved in, and they're sharing the rent 50-50, and it's working out very well. So that situation's gone, perfectly to plan, really.
Textbook execution, really.
Precisely, and this is the idea that we were saying earlier of just being open to meeting new people and making friends. This is a contact, just someone I've grown up nearby. I just throw to every now and then, and you never think it's gonna, create an opportunity in the future. But that's the thing. You've got to see the opportunity.
Make friends,
be open.
But
have that mindset.
Not everyone's as fortunate as us.
Yeah.
But some people might kind of struggle at the start to just kind of meet, just keep in touch with loads of people and meet loads of people. So do you have any advice of how you kind of learn that yourself that maybe people could?
The key for me, what I was saying earlier, is helping me realize traveling solo. Going to wherever it is, just going on your own. So you could basically go throw yourself out there. So it's going to hostels or meet people on the street. So I've been all over Central Europe, up to Scandinavia, down, and Russia and further afield as well. so everywhere really, but yeah. But you're going to meet people there by throwing yourself outside your comfort zone. If you're going to chill in your comfort zone, you're not really going to meet people. But
you need to like push it.
Yeah, precisely. So it's just a good life skill that you can really practice. So
I respect that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And also we were saying through LinkedIn and social media, it's the same kind of idea, of making contact,
And I just want to make it clear that the goal, when I talk about LinkedIn, the goal is not, just thousands of people on LinkedIn. There's no real goal. It's just about building your network, have that group of amazing people around you, and try and meet up with as many people as you can, because in doing so, you're going to just learn so much about yourself, and it's just you're going to become much more confident, more secure in yourself. You're going to know more what you want.
Yeah.
And so that ties in actually quite well to focus, and where focus plays into this. Do you mind saying why focus is so important?
So to me, basically, to be focused, you need to have a clear vision, really, on something that you aspire to create in the future, and in order to decide, what actions you need to take now.
So you can kind of reverse engineer.
Yeah, precisely. And also, if you have a clear vision that you're passionate, you want to make a reality, you can kind of block out potential distractions. Discussing about potential things that will try to sway you off your path.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important that you're so focused on that goal. Really, you've got to be passionate about it. You've got to have something you really want. For me, I just want to be able to live life on my terms. I don't want to be working for someone else. I want to be able to run my own show. That's very important to me, and passive income enables me to do that.
And even going to real estate, because when I talk to you about it, mate, this guy will talk to me for 2 hours straight about all these properties and stuff. I've got no clue, right? But he's like, we've got a great view here, but he says that property's worth that, that's worth that, that's worth that, and you just know all the ins and outs from an early age. Yeah. And I think it's important that people recognize, hey, find out what you're really passionate about. For you, it's real estate. I literally love stocks. I don't know why, but I can talk about that for ages. And another one of my friends, Mills, he's got his business. He's an entrepreneur, but when I talk to him, he could be there for 5 hours just not ranting, but just talking about how much he loves what he's doing. And when you have that, it comes across so much, and it makes such a big difference. So just having that passion for what you really want to go.
Yeah, and also it enables you to weather these distractions that we were talking about. So if you're young in this day and age, there's so many things that will try to sway you from your path in life, and that's why you've got to have something you love. I mean, we were saying earlier, whether it's drugs and drug addiction, or social media addiction. Really, social media addiction is a big problem of young people these days. There's so many things.
You're talking about some of your friends that you knew.
Precisely, exactly. People just fall by the wayside, go down. You have to be able to, I think for me, you have to have that clear vision of something you want to create in order to weather that. Combined with the strength of character, of course, it's important to have a strong persona where you're this is not going to interrupt my vision, my focus, this is not going to sway me from that. That's also very important.
Do you think having a clear vision helps you maintain your strength of character, or build that strength? Because
through the difficult times, exactly. It's 100%. If you have something clear you're working towards, then when these things come, they will kind of deflect off you in essence. You're not distracted as easily as other people are.
You go through your path and you kind of
it's finding that real direction in life. That's the key for me. I think that's the key for most people. You need to have that clear drive.
Passion, drive.
Exactly.
Well, we'll call it there. Thank you very much, mate.
All right.
So this is obviously my first podcast. Please let me know what you guys think, and if you'd like us to, whatever other topics you'd like us to discuss, because hopefully you liked it and this is the first of many. So again, thanks a lot, mate. And
that's been great. I've really
take
enjoyed
care.
it. Yeah.